Here are the headlines moving markets today. CannTrust Holdings Inc. released preliminary operational and financial results for the quarter ending on March 31st, 2019. Net revenue is expected to be approximately $17 million, an increase of 116% as compared to $7.8 million for the quarter ending on March 31st, 2018. This estimated revenue represents an increase of approximately 5% as compared to $16.2 million for the quarter ending on December 31st, 2018. In other CannTrust news, the company has commenced an underwritten public offering of an aggregate $200 million US of common shares. This offering contemplates approximately 85% of the common shares to be sold in the offering by the company and approximately 15% of the company shares to be sold in the offering by certain shareholders. In connection with the offering, the company and the selling shareholders expect to grant to the underwriters a 30-day option to purchase up to an additional 15% of the number of common shares sold in the offering. The offering is expected to be priced in the context of the market, with the final terms of the offering to be determined at the time of pricing. There can be no assurance as to whether or when the offering may be completed or as to the actual size or terms of the offering. MedMen Enterprises Inc. has made some changes to its executive team. The company named Ryan Lissek as Chief Technology Officer and accepted the resignations of Ben Cook, who served as Chief Operating Officer, and Lisa Sergi, who was General Counsel and a member of the MedMen Board of Directors. MJardin Group Inc. has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Carson City Agency Solutions, an operator of an extraction facility and producer of edibles and topicals in Carson City, Nevada. The transaction, which is expected to close in Q3 2019, will add extraction capabilities to MJardin's current cultivation operations in Nevada, allowing the company to use a portion of its cultivation output for extracts towards edibles, topicals, and other potential product lines. The Supreme Cannabis Company announced the launch of Cambium Plant Sciences, located in Goderich, Ontario. With a systemic application of research, technology, and science, Cambium, a wholly owned subsidiary of Supreme Cannabis, will focus on developing the next generation of premium cannabis genetics for recreational, medical, and wellness applications. Cambium's innovative mission is to supply agriculturally focused, disease-resistant premium seed stock to the rapidly growing global cannabis market. Cannabis One Holdings Inc. has executed 3 definitive agreements to acquire certain assets of Nevada-based LV 3480 Partners LLC, 3480 Investors Inc., and Agro Finance LLC. In connection with the definitive agreements, Cannabis One will acquire Nevada state-issued cannabis cultivation and manufacturing licenses. Fire & Flower Holdings Corp. has received 2 additional licenses from the Alberta Gaming, Liquor and Cannabis Commission to operate cannabis retail stores in Edmonton and Red Deer, Alberta. With the opening of the 2 additional licensed retail stores, there are now 13 Fire & Flower branded licensed stores selling cannabis across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Ontario. FSD Pharma Inc. announced today that its wholly owned subsidiary, FV Pharma Inc., has received its sale for medical purposes license to sell cannabis under the Cannabis Act. The license allows the current FSD facility to supply and sell cannabis products. The company anticipates receiving the amended sales license that will include the sale of dried and fresh cannabis flower in the near future. The Green Organic Dutchman Holdings Limited has received its oil sales license from Health Canada pursuant to the Cannabis Act for its Hamilton, Ontario facility. HITI Inc. has closed the first tranche of the sale of unsecured convertible debentures of the company under the non-brokered private placement with gross proceeds of over $8 million to date. HITI intends to close a second and final tranche of the offering for aggregate gross proceeds of up to $15 million, which has been increased from the original amount of $10 million due to strong investor demand. Nextleaf Solutions Limited will be increasing the non-brokered private placement financing amount up to $4 million. Management and insiders of the company plan to subscribe for between $500,000 and $1 million of the financing. The units to be issued under the financing will be subject to a 4-month hold period. TILT Holdings announced that Jupiter Research LLC, a leader in inhalation and vaporization technology and a wholly owned subsidiary of TILT, has expanded distribution of its technologies in California. The expansion allows Jupiter to establish a physical presence with increased geographic reach throughout California, enabling TILT to develop stronger customer relationships and deliver Jupiter products to B2B customers more quickly. Zenabis Global Inc. has received conditional approval to graduate its listing from the TSX Venture Exchange to the Toronto Stock Exchange. And that's your news for today.